So now that we went through the different brain structures and their function, let me present to you a typology for managers based on their dominant brain structure. Of course, we don't have the same brain structure switched on 24/7. Still, it's fair to say that there are patterns emerging in our behavior, indicating we're mostly active in one of them. So we have four brain structures: the reptilian, the paleolimbic, the neolimbic, and the prefrontal brain. Accordingly, we could distinguish four types of leaders: reptilian leader, paleolimbic leader, neolimbic leader, and prefrontal leader. Now let's have a look at each one of them and see what their characteristics are. So we start with the reptilian leader. The reptilian leader is dominated by stress. He's not proactive, he's reactive. He's in survival mode, running from one emergency to another, barely keeping his head above water. He's more a firefighter than anything else. We could distinguish three types of reptilian leaders with a fight, flight and freeze response. Fighting reptilian leaders would be the aggressive type. Fleeing reptilian leaders would be all over the place. Freezing reptilian leaders, well, they wouldn't be much of a leader, terrified to take action, not taking any decisions. With the paleolimbic leader, it's another game that is being played. Here we're talking manipulative, deceitful power games. Paleolimbic leaders are territorial. They'll let you know when you're on their turf. We could distinguish four types of paleolimbic leaders. Dominant paleolimbic leaders are probably the worst. They think they are God's gift to the organization and feel entitled to all kinds of privileges. There where the fighting reptilian leader reacts to a stressful situation with aggression, here the dominant paleolimbic leader will initiate the aggression. He's the aggressor. He rules by fear and secretly enjoys it. In his eyes, everyone around him is incompetent or plain stupid. They are not afraid to yell, publicly humiliate others, or worse, intimidate, bully, or sexually harass their team. Marginal paleolimbic leaders are a real pain because basically they're paranoid. They don't trust anybody. They will micromanage their teams, not because they think they're better, like the dominant paleolimbic leader. No, it's more because, well, they got trust issues. The actual paleolimbic leader are something special. They want to be their team's best friend and everyone has to get along with everyone. At first sight, this might seem like something great, but wait until one morning they start to discuss their sex life with you or invite you to a naked sauna together. Actual paleolimbic leaders have a problem with boundaries. They don't realize they're getting too close, too invasive. They think they know what others want, what others need, and they'll provide it without being asked. It can become quite creepy at times. The submissive paleolimbic leader is something else, really. This leader is all about exchanging favors to get his team to do things. He's very involved and feels personally responsible for everything that goes wrong. He has a really hard time imposing his will and needs to bargain his way out. A lot of times he ends up doing work his team should be doing, not because he doesn't trust them as with the marginal paleolimbic leader, but because he lacks the skills to rally his team or impose his views. What we often see is a combination of dominant submissive leaders. These leaders are very dominant with their own team, but extremely submissive and servile with their own boss. One moment they crawl at the feet of their superior, next they are barking at their own troops. These leaders are like chess players, planning several moves ahead. They develop schemes, conspiracies, manipulating, trying to win favors, so they can slowly but surely raise on the hierarchical ladder. Their only interest is their own, even if that means scratching someone else's back. But don't be fooled, they only do that so you would be in their debt. Next is the neolimbic leader. The neolimbic, remember, is a siege of our emotions, of our personalities. Here we're entering the realm of authentic leadership. With neolimbic leaders, what you see is what you get. Their own personality will guide their decisions and style, and we can distinguish 8 of them. The neolimbic philosophical leader. Keywords here are optimism, curiosity, consensual. These leaders enjoy the simple life. They are flexible and can easily adapt to new challenges. They are usually stress-free, do things at their own pace. They like to involve their team and discuss items with them. They do well in stressful environments, where their calming presence has a positive influence on the team. The neolimbic innovative leader. With the innovative leader, obviously the focus is on innovation, abstraction, theories. They enjoy complexity, interdisciplinarity, having to develop new models. They are always a step ahead, already thinking about the next big breakthrough when you're still in awe with the current one. But they're not only active in the realm of models and theory. With their teams, they are very respectful leaders. They take responsibility and empower the people around them as well. They do great in research and development departments, or any department with its share of conceptualization. When leading a company, they might single-handedly revolutionize a whole industry, thanks to their focus on innovation. Profit margins might not be the best with the focus on R&D, but they will for sure leave a legacy. The Neolimbic animated leader. With the animated leader, you're in for a ride. These leaders thrive on change and strong sensations. They are very creative and have plenty of new ideas. The result of that is an ever-changing environment, a multitude of projects, often very diverse. People around them usually have a hard time keeping up with their pace. We're talking high energy, work hard, play hard environment. Even though it's exhausting for others, they are a real inspiration for their team, and their playfulness will bring a positive vibe to all projects. The Neolimbic administrative leader. Here, playtime is over. The Neolimbic administrative leader is about administration and safety. We're talking financial control, planning, tools, Excel sheets, reporting, and so on. These leaders are at their best in a number environment. They get a thrill out of procedures. Put them in a finance, insurance, or accounting environment, and they will love you for it. They are also great when it comes to safety and prevention. The Neolimbic strategic leader. Now forget the numbers, here comes a champion of people management. Neolimbic strategic leaders are both loyal to their organization and their team. They will listen to their team. They're looking for harmony, balance, which means they will mediate and actively solve problems if they arise. Great at organizing and coordinating, they will entrust their team, delegate tasks, empower their people, give training where necessary in order to unlock hidden potential. They will stand with their team, support them, make them grow and find the best in each and every single one of them. The Neolimbic competitive leader. With a competitive leader, you can forget the harmony. Here we're talking dogfight. If you didn't have to fight over something, that thing basically isn't worth having. So this leader will push their team in the ropes, demand the utmost and more, make them sweat, cry and bleed. A victory has to be earned, conquered. It's the cult of the hero that dominates everything, and of course the leader himself is the ultimate example to be followed. He's not afraid of getting his hands dirty. It's do as I do. He will be in the line of fire, making sure his leadership is never questioned, because he's the best. The Neolimbic participative leader. Welcome to leadership with a human face. The Neolimbic participative leader is all about knowing its team, sharing and caring. This leader will do whatever it takes for its team. Support, training, encouragement. He will be the one cheering the successes of its team and the shoulder to cry on in hard times. It's a leadership of kindness, where everyone is important. They thrive in an environment on a human scale. The Neolimbic supportive leader. The Neolimbic supportive leader is the portrait of the selfless leader. His sole purpose is to serve others. His team is more important than himself. He's the ultimate altruist, demanding for himself and tolerant toward others. Discreet, he will operate below the surface, helping others shine and always avoiding the spotlights for himself. Now last but not least is the prefrontal leader. The prefrontal leader is characterized by calm, serenity. He's curious by nature and will recognize opportunities when they present themselves. He'll be able to adapt to new challenges and understand the subtleties of complex situations. He will favor reflection over rushed decisions. He will listen to his team, but always be able to follow his own personal opinion, without yielding to peer pressure. Their team will see them as wise or even enlightened, an example to follow. It's important to understand we're not active in one brain structure only. The dominant one is the Neolimbic mode, and within that Neolimbic mode we are a combination of several personality types. I gave you 8, but the truth is, we are a combination of them, with 2 to 4 dominant ones. Now, depending on the situation, we can switch to the paleolimbic, reptilian or prefrontal mode. But sooner or later, we'll always switch back to our standby mode, which is the neolimbic. Whenever the reptilian or paleolimbic is becoming too dominant, it's a recipe for failure. Expect burnouts, people resigning, and probably even harassment lawsuits. The prefrontal leadership is needed in time of trouble, in times when adaptation and change are needed. So which type of leader are you? Care to share?